Leon knew one thing. The black dragon was about to die. The massive beast had been his loyal partner. It had given its own blood to grant him power. Now it was chained in the center of Molong City. It was a trophy for 1,000,000 adventurers and 10 million citizens. The teacher from Kyoto Academy issued a cold warning. Leon was a mere divine being. Facing the city meant facing 4 strong heroes. Even a demigod would likely fail. Leon did not flinch. He demanded the release of all his tribes. He raised the stakes. He was there to conquer the entire city. The teacher laughed. He opened a massive portal. Leon's 4 main tribes stepped through. Their stats shifted to match the laws of this world. Iron-Cut Gale stood at level 132. Ember-Forged Dwarven Godhammer hit 106 Tida. The Minotaur Shaman reached 128. The Bone Overlord and Bone Reviver followed. The Sealed Skeleton Lord sat at 127. Leon dumped a mountain of equipment onto his soldiers. Iron-Cut Gale evolved into a storm swordsman. His level exploded to 140. His pressure now rivaled a dragon. But it was not enough. Leon had over 1 billion locusts. Only a few 100,000 could actually fight. To crush the city, he needed more meat for the grinder. He turned to his monster alliance. The response was a slap in the face. With the dragon captured, the alliance had shattered. Half the monsters made excuses. The rest refused outright. Some even plotted to kidnap Leon for his crystals. Leon's rage boiled over. If they would not follow, they would break. He issued a divine decree to destroy every tribe that refused to fight. His heroes marched. In a single night, they wiped out 73 tribes. Thousands were slaughtered. The surviving monsters saw the massacre. They realized Leon was more terrifying than the humans. They fell in line. At dawn, a tide of monsters surged toward the city. Inside the walls, the atmosphere was festive. The Dragon Slayer sat on a high platform. He drank wine and watched the execution preparations. He ignored the concerns of the Sanctess. He assumed his ally was just delayed. Then, the ground began to shake. The warning horns screamed. An army of monsters was at the gates. The streets turned into chaos. Adventurers scrambled to the front lines. They saw treants, goblins, and trolls. Then the sky went black. Billions of locusts blocked the sun. The locust men struck first. A rain of arrows turned the adventurers into pincushions. The humans retaliated with massive spells. The locusts simply flew higher and stayed out of reach. Then the ground forces collided. Thousands died every second. Leon watched from the back of a supreme locust. The humans were regaining their discipline. They were pushing back. Leon signaled his bone heroes. They dived into the heart of the battlefield. As they landed, the logic of death changed. White bones ripped themselves out of fresh human corpses. Dead adventurers stood up as skeleton soldiers. They turned their rusted blades on their former friends. The human defense crumbled. The monster tides smashed through the city gates. The 4 heroes of Molong finally moved. The Saintess unleashed a forest of roses. She created a massive wall of vines to plug the breach. The Swordmaster ignited the vines. He created a wall of towering flames. They were buying time for the mages. Magic began erasing the monster ranks. Leon played his trump card. The Bone Overlord hit the field. Scattered bones across the battlefield flew toward the small creature. They fused into a 20-meter-tall bone giant. The giant charged the burning rose wall. The flames did nothing to its bleached bones. It reached into the fire and grabbed the vines. It ripped the wall apart. The path was open. Leon and his heroes charged the plaza. Leon roared the name of the dragon. Veilthar the Dreadworm opened its eyes. It saw Leon standing against the morning sun. The human heroes were livid. The safety of their city was gone. The Saint of Martial Arts lunged at Leon. He aimed to end the invasion by taking the leader's head. The Minotaur Shaman intercepted him with a steel totem. Metal slammed into bone. The 2 powerhouses spiraled into a brutal melee. The dwarf countered the vines with hellfire. Iron-cut Gale locked blades with the swordmaster. The dragon slayer erupted in fury. He was 1 minute away from finishing the ritual. He unleashed his dragon slayer domain. Souls of slaughtered dragons materialized to tear Leon apart. The bone giant intercepted the green dragon. The sealed skeleton lord jumped onto the soul of a sub-dragon. It began eating the spirit. The dragon slayer swung his blood-red blade. He shattered the small skeleton into pieces. He turned away, but the bones knit back together instantly. The skeleton went right back to feasting on his power. While his tribes kept the heroes busy, Leon reached the dragon. He tried to cut the chains. They were divine artifacts. He summoned his weapon to gnaw through the metal. Belthar watched in disbelief. Leon had actually come. Leon shoved dark crystals into the dragon's mouth. He needed to jumpstart its recovery. The situation was turning grim. The dwarf was heavily wounded. Leon's heroes were losing the war of attrition. If they did not break out now, they would all be buried here. The black dragon swallowed the crystals. A look of grim resolve was in its eyes. It told Leon it had a gift for him. Leon snapped at the beast. There was no time for gifts. They were seconds away from total annihilation.